Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I've implemented the editor agent for the coding editor that we've been working on in this series. In the previous video, I showed you the implementation for the scaffolding agent. We were able to generate a project and we were able to preview that project using Expo Snack. In this video, we will use the editor agent to fix issues within generated files. Alright, so here in my Visual Studio Code, I have the application running. The desktop part is over here and the API backend is over here. So let's create a new project. Before we create a new project, I want to show you the file upload feature in action. So I'm going to head over to Dribble and look for a design that we can upload here. Just take a screenshot, upload here, and we'll use that to scaffold the project. All right, here on Dribble, I have this design that I'm going to take a screenshot of and send it over to our scaffolding agent that it can then use as for visual direction and as design inspiration. So let me take a screenshot. All right. So let's upload the image. It's over here. It's uploading to AWS S3 bucket. Great. Now let's create the application. So it's a travel application and it's going to be inside this directory, is working directory. I'm going to paste the prompt and I'm going to use purple. Alright, so let's generate the project. Great. 8 files written. Great. Alright, so now I'm going to click on run and then try to run the application on my phone. So run. Great. Scan the QR code. And there you go. There you go. And immediately I can already see there's an issue here with the my trips. The icon is not showing. So let me go to other. Let me go here, my profile, ticket, right? Let me see what it does for round trip. That's not wired up. Let's see this, explore. You can see this. Loads the detail page. But this is my trips. There's an issue there, so I'll go to the code, inside tabs, inside this layout. This layout, the TSS, is what is controlling this bottom navigation bar. So is this layout, the TS, you can see that's where we have all the tabs, the bottom navigation tabs. So you can see in here my trips. Let me try to use the editor agent to fix whatever issues might be in this layout.ts file. Fix the icon issue with my trips screen. Right, so the editor agent has written the update. Okay, it's written written the update to the file. So now I'll try to publish to Expo Snack again. Okay, so now let me try and scan the QR code on my phone. All right, great. You can see it fits the issue with the icon. So let me try and click on it. Now there's an issue with that file. There's an issue with the file. So let's go to the code and see if we can use the editor agent to fix the issue within the file. So that file goes to trips, which is this particular file here. This is the file here. And the error says view config getter callback for component div must be a function received undefined. All right, so let's ask the editor agent to fix whatever issue is within this file and see what it comes up with. So let's click on edit. Let's see what the agent does. Okay, fix the error by replacing the invalid web div element. Okay, great. So I'll publish again. And then I'll try and scan the QR code again. Okay, now the application is up again. Let's click on my trips. Oh, there's still an issue. Cannot read property background of undefined. So let's try to address that. So is that trip? This one is at line 26. It's line 26. So I can see on line 26, this is the issue there. So it's trying to access theme.background from layout. So we know we have this theme object here. So it's trying to access it inside the strips tab. Okay, I could easily just replace the content here, but let me see what the the editor agent is going to do. So let's see what the AI agent does, the editor agent does here. Fix the undefined theme error by defining a local theme object. Okay, so it defines its own theme object, which will now mess up the whole look and feel of the application. So let me just go in here and let me just copy the content of this one in here. So I don't want it to mess up the whole, because now you can see the background is going to use a dark background, where previously the whole application is using the light background. So let me just remove that and let it use a local theme object. All right, so I'll save that and then I'll run again. I'll scan the QR code again. All right, so let's see, now it works. All right, so here's the code. Let me walk you through the edit flow. So first we go into the desktop code and we'll go to the React part of the code and we'll go to the panel to the right that controls where you see the update from the agent. So that's the agent panel. Inside that panel, you can see this particular function, handle edit. So this is the function that is called when you click the submit button on the test area. Let me show you. So here's the test area. You can see when you click on enter or when you click on the button, so that's the function that is called. So let's go into the function. You can see basic validation, and then we'll call the editor agent operation. Let me show you what's inside this. Yeah, so you can see it's a basic function, and if you notice, it's inside the agent service, and I've had to refactor the agent service from the last video. So we, instead of run agent, we now have scaffold agent operation, and then I have edit agent operation. They have the same implementation, right? We are going to be streaming agents from streaming events from the API backend, and we are going to be treating the event right here, right, in this agent service. So it's basically the same implementation. So it's just the command is different, and the payload that we are sending to each command is different. So that's it. So we still have the listener in here to listen for the events, file write events and everything. Just the payload for the scaffold agent operation is different from this payload for the agent operation. So let me show you the command on the Rust backend. So first we collapse this, and then we go to SRC Tauri, and then in SRC Tauri we go to libs, and in libs you can see we have edit project file here, which is from the agent module. So agent module is in here. So I open agent module, and there you go. We have our edit command here, right? It's an async function, edit project file, and we load settings like the configuration settings. We load that, and then we capture the API URL. We prepare the URL. We prepare this for the base part, but we're just keeping the reference to the project directory and absolute path. And then here we use the client, the request HTTP client to send the request over. So we JSON serialize the payload, and we send the request over to our API backend. And when the request comes back as success, then we'll process the stream in here. Let me show you that. All right, so this is a process stream function. Is an async function, and this is where we'll process all the streams that we're getting from the API backend. So as we get each chunk, we process it and then emit events from here back to the React frontend. So that's what you see here, app.emit, right? So if there's an error, we use the error type. If it's done, or if it's file write, right, I'll just emit from here. So this is the code that processes the stream from event stream from the API backend. All right, so that's the flow here. Let me show you the API backend. All right, for the API backend, it's a poetry project, like you already know. So we go to the backend main.py file. Inside main.py file, you can see I also had to do a little refactoring here because the processes are basically, they are similar, right? So we'll just call the agent and then stream events back from the agent. So here is the edits. So that's the endpoints that we're using. And then edit file. So we'll prepare the context data that we send to the editor agent. So we'll send in the relative path, and then we'll send in the content from the file that we're trying to edit. So we'll get that content, and then we'll prepare the prompt, and then we call the stream agent. I'll show you the stream agent. So yeah, this is the stream agent. Call the stream agent, and in the stream agent we set up the queue. So that particular editor dependency class, right? It has a property. You can see it has a property event queue. So that's the event queue that we use to we just add events to the queue, and then we process the events here. We process the events around here. So you can see we process the events, and then we send it to the Rust backend, and then the Rust backend streams the event up to the React frontend. So that's that. Let me show you the agent itself. Let me show you the editor agent itself. All right, so here's the editor agent class. I'm using this agent object from Pydantic, and I set my configuration, the retries 3, the dependency type, editor dependency, and then the system prompt, right? And then this is my dynamic prompt. And in my dynamic prompt, you can see you are provided with the following 5 contents to fix. We pass in the content, and then address the issues as defined by the user. Yeah, so, and then in the write file, so I'm giving it a tool of write file. In that tool, that's where I said, so it calls this tool when it has done, the agent has completed the change and then needs to write the updated content, right? So it calls this write file tool with the updated content. And then with that updated content, I create an event, file write event, and set the content, right? I just set the updated content to the file write event, and then we stream this event up to the Rust backend, and then from the Rust backend to the React frontend. So here you can see I'm using OpenRouter as my inference provider, inference API provider, and I'm using this Google Gemini 3 Flash preview, right? That's the model I'm using, and this is an OpenRouter surface. So it just basically means we are telling OpenRouter to prioritize speed. Like it prioritizes the provider that is fastest. So we'll route our request to that particular provider. That's what this means. Let me show you the system prompt. All right, so here's the system prompt for the editor agent. You can see you're an expert React Native engineer, and that's the persona that I'm giving the agent. And most of these constraints, I use Claude because I got it from the scaffolding agent system prompt, right? So I got most of the constraint from there and just use Claude to harden it and make it comprehensive. All right, so that's all for the editor agent, and that's all for this video. In the next video in this series, we'll be working on the collaboration feature to allow people collaborate within a project. So if you found value in this video, kindly like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.